Much love, respect, and appreciation. This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. This one is a tad bit different. Seeing how I ran through some videos on social media, and for whatever reason, inevitably have issues, problems, discrepancies between Black Americans directly out there. And the woman that you see directly in front of you decided that she wanted to specifically speak on those problems. So, what we're going to do here is that we're going to preference the video. Shout out to James Hudson. What is up? What is up? We're going to preface this video by allowing another Black woman to specifically speak on this before we get to the initial clip or the images that you see directly in front of you. What is up, Gail?
So I know a lot of y'all might come at my neck for
What's
this,
up,
but have
Bushido?
y'all seen the video of the 59-year-old nurse? She is an African nurse who says that she hates African American people. She would not march with us for any cause. She said that she particularly does not like African American women and that she thinks that she is better than us. And then she also proceeded to say, you stay in your lane and I'm going to stay in my lane. Well, I feel like for all that, stay in your country.
What's up,
Stay in
RY?
your country. Like, what are you over here for? If you hate African American people so bad, why won't you stay in Africa? Why did you come over here? Did you come over here because you knew it was better opportunities, that you could make a little bit more money, that living conditions might be better? And trust me, I know that Africa is beautiful. I know there are many, many beautiful places in Africa. But what are you here for? What are you here for? And what makes it even worse is that you're a nurse. And I feel like you being a nurse is dangerous. Because if you don't like African American people, how are you going to properly care for an African American person? And I'm going to link her name down below. I'm going to tag her page down below so you guys can see. I don't see that video on her page, but it's definitely her. But yeah, if you don't like us, what are you here for? Stay in your country. You stay in your country and we'll stay in our lanes. We don't need you. We don't need you for anything for real. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and bash Africans because there's a lot of African people that I know that I really, really am cool with. But for you to say all of that and then tell us to stay in our lane, I think you should take your own advice and stay in your own country.
Now, you have a lot of people out here that will try to say that, oh, what she said was racist. What do you mean that people need to go back? She meant exactly what she meant. And I've said the exact same thing. If you are African coming directly over here to the United States, number one, you are a runner, you are a track star. Number two, you don't want to fix the problems and the issues directly within your country. So you are fleeing or running directly from that so that you can potentially have better opportunities and or an outcome or survivability in another country of which is not ruled by your own people. Because the one thing that I've always heard before is that, there's some Africans out there that want to say that, oh, but, Black Americans don't actually have a country because you guys don't have ownership or run it and whatnot or whatever. Well, you guys do have a country and you guys are fleeing those said countries. You're going to Australia, you're going to Europe, you're going to China, you're going to Poland, you're going to Sweden, you're going to Russia, you're going to the UK, you're going to Canada, you're going to South America, you're going to you're going everywhere else but staying directly home, of which you have ownership of all of that land there. You might not have the resources, but you got ownership of all of that beautiful land there, all of that beautiful real estate. You got all of those many people there that are hungry, that want to sit up there and work. You got people that look just like you. You got your own culture, your own types of food, your own types of language. You got literally the whole of your history right there, your different tribes and all of that, right? All the beautiful sites, all the architecture, everything that you can sit up there and see, everything that you can claim. But you decide to forego that to come to the United States in order to get a better education, better opportunity, to make more money, to have a better living wage and a better living situation. and also a better situation for your kids, either if you have them or if you plan on having them. And then you got the nerve to walk around and to turn your nose up at Black Americans. Again, for anybody that's African, the only reason that you are here in the United States is because of us. If we never existed here in the United States, neither would you exist at this moment in time. You wouldn't be here. Just to make that clear. We made it affordable. We made it comfortable. We made it possible for you to be here. So, just going to put that out there. And also, I want to put this out there too. My mom is in the nursing field, and she's talked about how you have African women and women who are Caribbean, and you got women who are Indian. Anybody that's non-Black American, those women will come here and they will have all types of attitudes. They will treat the Black American women a certain type of way. They won't listen to orders that need to be given. They won't do the things that need to be done. But let Susan come directly in there. Let Susan come in there, or Brittany, whatever it is. Let them come directly in there. Oh, all of those non-Black American women. Oh, magically their backs are straight. There's no type of attitude. Yes, ma'am. Right away. I'll get right on it. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's amazing how that works. But to further give you an inkling on what it is that I'm talking about, I'm going to allow the woman to basically speak.
Never gotten along. Not today, not yesterday, not 20 years ago, not 100 years. We've never gotten along. We don't get along. All I'm saying is that stay in your lane and I stay in my own lane. I don't have any interest or desire to have that kind of relationship that I know will never be. There is no need for me to pretend to like you. You don't like me, and I with my full chest. I don't like you either. So this one that we're supposed to come together, don't ask me to come and join you to march down the street for whatever cause it is you're marching. I'm not coming to march anywhere with you. So all I'm saying is that, why are we here asking each other to get along? Thinking that, we think African sisters were better than, I think I'm African, I'm better than African American. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have any African American friend. I don't need to be friends with any African American. There's nothing friendship with them that I find interesting. Through in university, I don't have any ounce of interest in developing any type of relationship with any of my African
American sisters. Went through some really traumatic experience,
I don't have any interest. Zero. If I see you coming down the road like this, I turn around and go the other way. I don't have any interest whatsoever to have a relationship with you. I hate them. I hate them. End of story. Very strong resolution. I hate them, period. Saying I beat my full chest to say I take ownership of how I feel. You don't have to expose me. I'll tell you how I feel. You don't have to second guess me and say, these people are this thing, that thing, and I'm going to expose them. You're not exposing anything. Me, I'll tell you how I feel. And I'm telling you how I feel.
So we heard that. So this is not anything made up. This is not anything. Let's just define. So this is people trying to throw a wrench in between Black American. No. This woman literally said it. She said that directly with her full chest that she hates Black Americans. And I want you to understand that she's in the medical field. She's a nurse. So if she hates Black Americans, how do you then think that she's going to treat a Black American patient? It doesn't matter if it's a child, if it's somebody elderly, if it's somebody young or old, whatever it is. How do you think that her line of thinking is going to sit up there and work when it deals with a Black American patient? It's not. You're not going to get the best treatment. You're not going to get the best care. She's going to do everything but her actual job, which she is here in the United States to do. Again, she's an import. She's not even supposed to be here. Realistically, ICE needs to be called on this African woman. She needs to be deported directly where it is to whoever place that she came from. She don't need to be here, because this is beyond disrespectful. This is dangerous at this moment in time. And there are many other Africans in the United States that share her exact same sentiments. They're not going to be as smart as her to put it directly out there so everybody will know. But again, they work in a variety of fields and they have the exact same feelings. And then it's crazy to me that when Black Americans want to point these things out, You'll have people online that now want to come through. It's like, oh, that one African doesn't represent, the whole. I don't got time for that. I don't have time. Like I said, I treat everybody the exact same way. The same thing that you hear me say about white folks, I do the exact same thing to everybody else. I'm giving everybody the exact same energy. I don't got time. If you got one person like this out of a billion that is that dangerous, you need to start multiplying that. Because as many times as I've seen rhetoric like this from Africans online, I don't sit up there and see out of the billions out there. I'm not seeing tens of millions of Africans coming out to TikTok. And TikTok is a free platform. Anybody can be directly. I'm not seeing tens of millions of Africans coming directly out there from every which part talking about, oh, this is not us. This is not indicative or representative. But you know what tends to happen when it deals with Black Americans? Oh, you'll have Black Americans whenever something happened. Oh, this is not indicative of every single Black American out here. Yada yada. We will make sure to sit up there and separate who not and whoever directly from us or whatever it is that we believe. We'll make sure to sit up there and do that. But for whatever reason, we can't have the same expectations. We don't happen to see the exact same actions with other people when it deals with their own people talking this dangerous and reckless online. Like I said before, that's crazy. Just think if she was taking care of Black American, like the what is it called? The NICU? Like the area where they take care of the little small babies. Imagine her taking care of Black American children. I don't feel like they would have any type of life expectancy, just to be real, just to be honest. They would not survive. They would have a better chance of being flown by themselves over to Africa and surviving versus being in her hands. That's how I'm looking at this. That's how dangerous this woman is. The same rhetoric and the same ideology that she has at this moment in time, this is the same exact thing that Black Americans went through with white Americans during the whole segregation, Jim Crow, civil rights, and all that other type of stuff. Like I said, think about the white nurses and doctors who had to handle Black babies and Black lives. And imagine all of the stories that those people could actually tell you if they were to tell the truth on what it is that they specifically did to Black people and Black children. We already had the story of a young Black man who stated that an older retired white firefighter that was back in those days of like the 60s and so on and so on was stating how it is that they would allow the Black houses to burn. They would sit there. They heard the screams, they heard the hollers and all, but they allowed it to burn. And he just sat there and did nothing. She's the exact same. But she's here. Like I said, if you want to say a lot of these negative things about Black Americans, cool. Be over there in your own country. Do that on your own land, on your own time. Don't come over here in our house and disrespect us. And then you got the nerve to ask Black Americans, oh, why do you guys have an issue? It's because of people like her. Y'all don't do nothing to, get rid of that type of rhetoric. Y'all don't do anything to stop that type of rhetoric. How harmful and dangerous her words are. How many lives that she more than likely has negatively impacted. Like I said, that's crazy to me. That's 100% crazy to me. And this also goes to the other aspect of which a lot of people in the Black community like to say, all, what is it? I might have to paraphrase. All skinfolk are not family. Everybody that looks like you is not for you. And that further proves the point. She is letting you know in so many words that Africans and Black Americans and Africans are completely two separate, two different people. She was like, I'm not going to sit up there and march. I'm not going to. So you can only imagine, let's say during like the civil rights, she would have been one of the ones, a brand new import, probably living amongst white people working directly for them. She would not have been trying to move or do anything. She wouldn't have been trying to support. She would have been just sitting by and bad mouthing every Black American that wanted things to change. Matter of fact, she would have been the type of person on a plantation that would have been snitching to the slave master that, oh, Massa, we got these blacks out there. They trying to sit up there and revolt, Massa. I tried to tell them don't sit up there and do it. It's the wrong thing to do, but Massa, they wouldn't listen. So because they didn't listen, Massa, I wanted to come tell you because I love you, Massa. I don't want nothing to happen to you, Massa. I love my house. I love being a Negro that feels or a house Negro, Massa. So what's we going to do, Massa? Right? She's that type of person. Matter of fact, if we were to even take it that far, her and her people would have been the exact same ones. If we're going to go on a whole thing of the slave trade, her people would have been the main ones to sell the originals over and have them placed in North America and not even blinked, not even uttered a word, not even shed a tear. It would have been her and her people and her family that would have done that. And then want to turn around after all of these many hundreds of years and years and years that's gone by and try to figure out why is it that you guys have a problem with Africans? Huh? Yo, thank you, Ms. D said all skinfolk and kinfolk. Thank you. Like I said, I had to paraphrase because I'm doing this, directly off the top of the dome. So be like that. But yeah, that's crazy. That's 100% crazy. And as I've stated to you guys directly on the channel, I don't really have, in a sense, bad things technically to say about people unless they come directly at us first. Then I have to be on the defensive. Now I have to sit up there and go out there and I got to start highlighting stuff, and you're going to get the exact same energy that you give directly back. Like I said before, I can post a whole bunch of videos right now of, let's say, Nigerians out there defecating in the streets on the freeways, right? You can basically be driving your car directly in one of those areas and you'll see somebody taking a dump directly on the sidewalk, directly over the freeway, in the middle of traffic, directly on the beaches. But yet you got the nerve to try to put your nose up at Black Americans and try to say that we don't have culture, we don't have this, we don't have that, and how it is that everybody is, purely separate. And that's some crazy work. But matter of fact, let me not just keep going. Allow me to show you other Africans who feel the same way, right?
Americans asking why Africans hate them, and I'm going to answer the question for you. Number one, this American ego transcends race. It doesn't matter if you're white American, brown American, or Black American. There seems to be like this ego that makes you think that you are the main character wherever you go.
And I would like to say that her hairline transcends space and time. If we're going to go that far and talk about Black Americans having ego, you have quite an ego and a shiny forehead. You have enough landage there to house 100 million people. And you have the nerve to sit up there and try to talk about Black Americans. And it seems as though that she might sort of have a type of accent there that seems very familiar. But, I digress. Let's keep going.
Therefore, when you go to places in Africa, you get surprised when you're treated like just another tourist. I've heard people saying stuff like, they only cared about my dollars. Yeah, this is a supermarket.
Okay. I knew where her accent actually came from. She's from the UK. She's another runner. This is what I want to understand. This is what I'm trying to understand. For and again, I'm not saying all, because I got some people directly here on the channel. That's completely cool, right? So again, subtract yourself out of this equation. If anybody here is from the United Kingdom, you're Black, I technically know you. You've been on the channel for a minute. We've talked, back and forth. You're cool, no problem. I ain't talking about you. For the rest, opposite of the people that I've at least conversated with, for the rest of the Africans in the United Kingdom, why is it that you guys run from your country to a white country, white owned, white controlled, white created country, area, landmass? You proceed to lose your natural accent from your homeland. You adopt a British, aka a European white accent, along with the mannerisms, along with the ideology and the ego and the pride. And then you proceed to look over yonder across the pond and you're like, I'm not going to worry about the UK. I'm not going to worry about Africa. let me look at what Black Americans are doing, and let me start dissecting and talking about how like what mental gymnastics do you have to do to literally skip over different land masses that are very close together in order to look across the ocean to talk about a whole nother group of people of which you've never had an experience with. And then you tend to say that we don't move anything, we're not the culture, we're not this, we're not that, but yet every single time you open your mouth and talk, we're the topic. You're not talking about your queen that's dead, that a lot of y'all were crying directly over, which is mind-boggling because those are the same people that enslaved you, took your land, listed you as property, did a variety of things with the slave trade, renamed a lot of territories, burnt things down, did a whole bunch of stuff directly to y'all. Y'all still colonized at this moment in time, but you also got the second coming by way of Russia and China and a little bit of America directly thrown in there. But you don't care about white people doing nothing. You want to sit up there and focus in on Black Americans. Better yet, because I know that this woman is African, why don't you talk about the slavery that is taking place by way of your own people in your own lands currently in 2025? Shouldn't that be a more pressing issue versus you trying to talk about us? That's right. You don't actually care about that. You want to forego that. You want to forego the white people, those nations doing anything to your land, taking your mineral and your resources, selling every single thing. Your own people who are running the land, own the land and the resources. They're selling it out to everybody else, not you. And they're making sure that everybody else could live there, could profit there, could start a business and do all of these things. Matter of fact, isn't it going back to South Africa? Don't about 70% of the land there is owned by the super minority there, which are white South Afrikaners? Don't they own the greater majority of the land directly in South Africa, but yet they're European? How does that work? But yet again, I forgot. Y'all don't want to ever actually talk about white people, or y'all don't really want to sit up there and you don't got the balls to actually go at them. You got a few nations. Few nations. Shout out to Burkina Faso. Shout out to them and a few others directly out there that are actually standing 10 toes down. But opposite of them, there's a lot of people there that got some problems and some issues that y'all really need to place a lot of energy directly into and fix, versus sitting up there running and then want to get on the internet, get on TikTok, and you want to badmouth Black Americans. That's some crazy work, but I'm sorry. Let's continue.
Gone there expecting a kinship and connection with people whose history diverges from your history. And those slave ships took off, the countries that, you came from, they went on. There were still things happening to them, and there's still things happening to them today. Your history isn't as shared as you think that it is. There isn't this kind of Black kind of community in a lot of countries in Africa because everyone's Black. I would get it if you were in Sweden and you're walking past another Black person and they didn't smile at you, and it's like, we are the only Black people here, like in this city. I'd get it. But you can't go to Africa and expect Black people to care that you're Black. And also, it's not even it's not a hate of Black Americans. There's a hatred of Americans in general.
No. See, this is when I want to tell people to be very specific. And this is what I just told y'all in the previous rant that I just did before I had let her keep speaking. She said that there's a hatred of Americans in general. No. You would never, as an African person, you would never sit up there and say that you have deep-rooted issues and problems directly to any white. You would never say that. Matter of, how are you going to say out of everybody that you should ever have a problem with, you literally ran to your enemy? You ran from Africa and you went to the United Kingdom, and you're talking about that you got a problem with Americans in general, as if they're the ones really messing you up. Are you serious? You allow Europeans to literally come into Africa. You befriended them. Originally, they had the Bible. You had the land. They got the land. You got the Bible. How does that work? Originally, you had people actually looking at you as some sort of gods. And then magically they dethroned you and said that you are nothing but worshipers. And then they deemed themselves the gods. And you're trying to tell me that you have a problem with Americans in general, but yet you yourself, as an African, especially an African woman, ran directly to the enemy men, and you're sitting there with them having lunch, brunch, whatever it is, directly up there, tea and crumpets. I don't even care what it is. You're sitting up there chilling really with the enemy because you ran from your own people. But yet you have nations there in Africa that are standing up to Europe, but y'all don't even want to stand up with them because you idolize Caucasianness so greatly. You want to be in proximity to that so great. You don't even want to be amongst yourselves, even though you say that you love your culture, your language, and everything else. But yet you sound completely British. I don't hear a lick of African directly in you at all. Like somebody stated before, we got white people mad that after 400 years that we're still speaking the exact same way that we're speaking. You guys will literally leave Africa and move directly to Europe or the UK, and within about like 5 or 10 years, you're sounding just like the Europeans up there. I'm like, how does that work? I'm like, whoa, that's beyond assimilation. I don't know what type of wizardry. It must be some strong devil magic directly up there in order to make that happen. And for whatever reason, I always see Africans moving to these European countries, and they're automatically speaking just like that. Pip pip cheerio, all that good. Right? It's all that type of stuff. It's some crazy work. Crazy work. Now, see, now if people want to complain about, well, Black Americans, you guys are within them. Yeah, because we have to be. We're fighting for whatever it is that we have. We're not automatically dipping off and running. That's not what we're sitting up there doing. We're fighting tooth and nail for whatever it is that we have. We've been sitting up there doing that. Like I said, I can't sit up there and say the same thing for a lot of Africans that's sitting up there fleeing and running. You can't say, come to me that you got some type of pride about your culture and all this, that, and the third, and you sitting up there running. You talking from a whole nother seat, a whole nother continent. How brave are you to sit up there and decide to, be talking halfway across the planet about pride and this and that and the third? What? You got people in your place right now, in your country right now, in your nation right now, dying of poverty, lack of this or that, clean water. Last time I checked, it was the United States that was sitting up there running the whole thing. Just 10 cents a day could feed somebody like this little African girl. Get her the food and the bread that she needs. Just 10 cents a day can get her the lace front that she needs so that she can actually have a decent hairline and match in with Black Americans. That's some crazy work. Diabolical in nature. But let's continue.
A lot of places do not have a great history with America. And while it's very much clear to us that we can live in countries like England with terrible histories and who are right now selling billions of pounds and arming places like Israel, we can understand that within these countries there are different politics, there's different dynamics, there's still social hierarchies. You cannot expect people who are on the receiving end of the violence of the countries that we live in to care that we are not at the top of the social hierarchy here. But I get called European child by my own relatives who I am literally biologically related to. Because nobody cares, because I was raised in Europe, so I might as well be white to them. Can't go to other countries and bring the race dynamics of your countries to theirs. And there are places where you go where people won't treat like.
So she said that she was called certain names because she was basically raised in Europe. Yeah, just look at your attitude. Look at the way that you're talking. Matter of fact, look at the way that you're just simply talking about Black Americans. So if you're talking about Black Americans this way, I can only imagine how it is that you perceive and talk about your own people who don't talk like you, right? Who don't do the exact same things, who have a different type of culture. They talk and walk a different type. I can only imagine. So no, it's you that's the problem. It's you that's the actual problem, and you're projecting. Instead of trying to, everybody has a problem with, no, a lot of people got a problem with the UK. How about that one? America especially has a huge problem with the UK. And I'm not sure why it is that you as an African, you ran from wherever it is, or your family ran from where it is that you came from, and you decided to plant yourself over there in Europe and the UK, whatever it is, and you want to decide to take up this fight, or you want to be direct. That's not how that works. This ain't even you. You literally, if we were to trace your bloodline back, I can literally throw a dart on a board and that's where you are. That's how simple that is. So your fight is actually within your own nation. This thing with UK and in the United States has been going on long before you even got there, long before your parents even decided to do that, before their grandparents and their grandparents' parents. But okay.
That people will accept you and will be like, oh, I'm so happy that you're here. But you guys keep going to places that are heavily populated by tourists, by American soldiers, and a lot of these American soldiers are black. And then you're acting surprised when people aren't that, shocked and happy to see you. So to conclude, it's not that they hate you, it's that they don't care about you.
African is called the fittest survive. You can make
Right. So she was like, it's not that they hate you, it's that they don't care. Okay, sweetheart, whatever you want to sit up there and tell yourself to make it seem as though that you're not projecting, to make it seem as though that you guys don't really have a serious issue directly out here when we know that it is that you do. Because like I said before, there's a brother out here by the name of Adonis, and again, he makes a lot of content directly on YouTube and other places where he specifically he moved from New York, went over there to the UK, and he's having these conversations, he's having this dialogue. He even has South Africans call in and have this dialogue, and it's the exact same written statement. It's like y'all don't have nothing different. It's like, oh, you Black Americans, you think that you're this and you're that, and your hubris and your pride and your ego, and you don't actually have any culture. You don't have the. It's like the exact. It's like, do y'all just go to like an African like nation meeting and y'all just like sit down and be like, yeah, this is what we're going to say about the Black Americans today. This is the written list. It's nothing but half a page, and that's what we're going to go off of, and that's it. And then you'll have a brave one and be like, oh, but what about the Europeans and the whites? And then y'all will sit up there and exile that person. That's pretty much how that sums it up for me. Y'all won't actually have really anything to innocent say about anybody else, but your focus tends to be on Black Americans. And you wonder why it is that we're having this discussion while we have these problems. And you're like, oh, why do you guys think that you're the center of the universe? Well, why is it every single time I can open social media, I see you guys talking about Black Americans? Our name is always in your mouth, hanging directly out. You can be speaking your own dialect and it's still there. I'm like, what is going on here? I'm like, how do you especially know anything about Black Americans? You should be out there like chasing something live. Like, I don't even know what's happening right now. But yet here we are. Right? So now we're going to allow this beautiful Black American woman to give her response to what it is that somebody stated on her page.
make something out of nothing. We don't depend on no government. So y'all make it seem like all we do is depend on the government. First of all, everybody in this country is getting some type of assistance, whether it be a loan, a grant, just benefits of any kind. Why do you all flee your country? Why do you flee? Why do you flee? If your country is better, why do you leave and come here? Why not build up your own homeland? I need somebody to answer this question because I'm really, really confused. I don't get it for the life of me to come here and look down and make it seem like you're so much better, but yet you left. You fled. To come.
Oh, let me just pause that for a minute. I'm not exactly sure. Let me just highlight this real quick. So we're having like a whole topic and conversation, and your main focus is the hair. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit. So we're going to forego all of the things that are being said about Black Americans, and you're like, let's sit up there and focus directly on a person's hair. Well, let me just speak this real quick. The clear, complete difference that we have here is that we have an individual that decided to actually show their face. Somebody that is not afraid or anything like that. Right? We got somebody that doesn't just decide to, just write a comment and just dip off. And this is what I happen to say whenever I see, people trying to be, throw some slights, be disrespectful. I'm like 9 times out of 10, a lot of people talking would never actually show their face on social media. Y'all barely don't even want to show y'all kids or y'all families. Matter of fact, you don't even want to show your significant other because you know how it is that people will shred you to pieces. And you can say you don't care all you want to, but at the end of the day, we exactly know people care. Like I said before, that's the craziest thing, to forego everything that is being stated just to talk about somebody's hair. Like, what type of time are you even on? Like, that's really some weird type of behavior. Anyways, let's continue. Hey, Miss Gray, what is up? What is up? What is up?
And try to get a little help and some assistance from the government here. Like, you're so much better. I just don't get it. Can somebody please answer? Why do y'all come here? Why did you? I'm talking specifically to you, not all, because it is a superiority complex with some of y'all. Specifically you, based off of what you've been saying in this thread. Why did you come here? And if you're gonna say you ain't here, why are you in a Black American space? I'm a Black American.
Ooh.
Why do you care about what we got going on?
Bars.
Zulu Parade situation has made me start seeing that Black Americans should not be allowed to identify as African Americans if they're not willing to put in the work to uphold African dignity, African traditions, and African culture.
So you heard him, right? You heard what this African said, right? He was like, yo, for you Black Americans out there, you should not, if you're not going to actually listen to us Africans, if you're not going to pay attention, if you're not just going to shut up and let us speak, you need to take that African directly off of the side of y'all name real quick. That's him basically saying that Africans have ownership directly over that. So this is why delineation is where it is at this moment in time. You have a lot of Black Americans just simply saying that we're Black American. That's simply what we're saying. Because no African could come through and be like, oh, you guys aren't actually Black. Shut up. This ain't even, for real now, this ain't even a topic for you. History and everything dictates, and it tells a whole different story versus what you're saying. Like I said before, people better pay attention to what a lot of these Africans, how slick mouthed they directly are when they're talking about Black Americans online. Let's continue.
Because honestly speaking, a lot of Black Americans actually don't care about Africa, right? Black Americans only associate with Africa when it's trending, right? When it's in fashion. That's what they do. They use Africa as a costume to make themselves look cool. Africans don't hate Black Americans. They just want you to allow them to teach you. You see? That's the only thing Africans are asking for. Just humble yourself, Black Americans, and allow the Africans to show you how to reconnect with African history. Because that's part of what happened. Most of you. And I know it's complicated. Some of you, have Indian ancestry. I'm speaking to the ones that know that they've got African ancestry, right? To you guys who've got African ancestry, it was stripped from you. It was stripped completely by the colonizers, essentially. So allow the Africans to now rehabilitate you back into African culture, right? If you are looking at reconnecting with Africa, I know I saw in my last post people were saying, "Oh, we don't want any part of Africa." That's cool. If you are happy with the culture in which you designed and orchestrated, that's cool. But to those who are looking at reconnecting with Africa, it's going to require you guys to be humble and say to yourself, listen, I have to trust that Africans know the best way in allowing me to reconnect with my African roots. And you can't do it alone. You're going to need the Africans to help you do that. And that's what I'm trying to speak to. Respect. You have to respect the Africans. And a lot of you are not understanding that the media loves disrespecting Africa a lot. They really do. And they will use you Black Americans to push a narrative of making Africa look crappy.
Huh? Hold on. Hold on. Now I gotta put my headset down. Wait. Ha ha. He said that the media will use Black Americans in order to make Africa look crappy. How did we? No. We're not doing this. Wait, let me see if I can pull up. No, buddy. No, brother, we're not doing that. That is crazy work. So let's just look at this, right? Let me just pull this Directly up. Let me see if I can just get a snapshot of it, because we're not doing this. We're not even going to do this. I'll be word, brother. That's what we will sit up there. The media will use Black Americans in order to make you look bad. How about let's read this together, class? What does this say? They said that we found as few as 10 countries could account for 247 million Africans defecating in open by 2030 if critical and emergency actions are not taken. The biggest driver is lack of access to proper sanitation facilities. So by 2030, it has been stated that you're going to have 247 million Africans defecating in public in the streets. And you got the nerve, you got the gall, you got the audacity to roll up here on these internet streets. And you decide to say that the media is going to help Black Americans make Africa look bad. We don't even have a population for Black Americans. We're not 247 million. We're about, like 40, 50 plus directly in the United States. We don't defecate in the streets. If you happen to see somebody that's Black American defecating in the streets, chances are that they are homeless and out of their minds. They're strung out. Those are the rare extents. Any normal, average, everyday Black American here, we use toilets. That's what we do. We use the bathroom. I'm not going out into my backyard. I'm not going into my neighbor's yard. I'm not going in front of the supermarket. I'm not going in front of the newspaper stand. I'm not in the street, the highway, the freeway. I'm not digging holes in the trenches or on the beaches. I'm not in front of a church. I'm not doing none of that. This is you. This is you. And you want to roll up here on the internet and try to say that white people are enabling Black people to make Africa look, brother. This is why I sit up there and consistently state that I need a lot of Africans to humble themselves, to calm down, look inward, and fix their own nations, fix their own people before they decide that they want to turn around and look at Black Americans, be judgmental, and try to tell us what it is that we are or are not doing, what it is that we should and should not be doing, and how it is that either we should shut up and pay attention, or how it is that we need to allow other people to sit up there and take the lead directly for us and show us the way. You don't even know the way. So this is why you run away into the white man's arms. Shout out to Europe and the UK. Shout out to Australia. Shout out to Canada. Or even in the instance, shout out to America. Let's continue.
Because they don't want you guys to come back home, right? To you African Americans that are there, they don't want you to come back home, and they will make it seem like we hate you. We don't hate you. We want you guys to come back, but it's gonna require you guys to respect African culture, and the best way in which you can learn to do that is listening to the Africans, man.
So one question. How is it possible? So somebody riddle me this real quick, right? So imagine that you were a baby. Your parents decided to give you away to a whole nother family. After you were given away to said family, your parents later on were like, you know what, we made a mistake. We should have just actually kept the child to sit up there and raise them. But since we can't, what we can do now is try to make amends and bring them back home. But if they come back home, they have to know that they have to follow our orders, follow our lead, and they have to respect and value us. I'm trying to figure out, so how, as you as a parent that abandoned a child, expect for said child to come back home and to give you love, admiration, respect, validation, and allow you to lead when you could not even love, value, or respect that child? You basically abandoned a whole child. But you're trying to tell us that we need to give over We need to deliver. We need to be accepting directly of you, knowing the fact that we are in this predicament because of you. And this is what I'm talking about with the whole audacity, the whole arrogance. How it is that as he's explaining right now, he doesn't want to take responsibility or mission or responsibility. Oh, I said it twice, or acceptance of what it is that his people did in order to make everything take place the way that it took place. Because this conversation wouldn't even need to be had if, guess what, your people, your tribes, your chiefs did not sit up there and allow the white men to come directly over into your land and just ship some people off. That's some crazy work. It don't even make sense. I'm not going to sit up there and turn around and love a parent and be accepting of a parent and respecting of a parent that abandoned me. I never would. You don't deserve nothing but the worst. But better yet, I don't have to say that because it's currently what you guys are facing at this moment in time because of the great deals of many transgressions that you have done to many other people directly out there, including yourselves. So I don't have to hope and wish. I'm literally watching it at this moment in time. Let's continue.
Listen to them.
True Black Africans and African Americans do not claim Black Americans. We are not the...
Hold on. See, it's crazy that whenever Africans talk, you got to pause. It's almost like every 5 seconds because they just start saying something crazy. So she said that true Africans and true African Americans don't claim Black Americans. So are you saying African Americans as what it is that Black people used to allow themselves to be called? Or are you saying African Americans as the Africans who ran from Africa to try to assimilate into America, therefore making them African American like Elon Musk? Like which one are we specifically talking about here? Because that's some crazy work to say that two groups don't accept or unaccepting of Black Americans. What are we even talking about here? Because realistically, like I said before, without us being here, y'all wouldn't be here. Y'all wouldn't be able to talk. And realistically, I don't even think that she's even here in America. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of these people who are African that want to get on this soapbox, they want to get on this high horse, they want to start talking about Black Americans. A lot of them are not even in America at this moment in time. Like, that's how crazy the whole topic is. That's how delusional, or some people like to say delulu, a lot of people are directly out here when it deals with this topic. Like I said before, you done heard about 3 to 4 Africans talk negatively about Black Americans and generalizing the whole spectrum, the whole group. And the craziest part is in the United, because I don't really think, especially if those Africans are living in the United Kingdom, I don't think that they actually understand the how vast the United States is, the mileage, the amount of land that is here. Like, the United Kingdom will fit comfortably in the United States a multitude of times with no problem. Like, I'm not, and then within the United States, Black Americans have their own culture. They have their own slang from area to area to area. New York is not the same as LA, and LA and New York is not the same as Detroit. Detroit is technically not the same as Chicago, because Chicago is basically Gotham City, if people actually paid attention. Right, the stuff that they got up there in Florida is not going to be the same that they would potentially have, somewhere else in Atlanta. Right, you got different Black areas, you got different spectrums of Black Americans, all directly out there. Right, in a sense, for all intents and purposes, we are a melting pot. But in order to have that pot and in order to cook, you got to add some things directly in there. You got to have your different spices and seasonings, and usually all those things are separate. Right, so that's where you, like I said, anyways, let's continue.
The same. African tends to focus on progress, family values, and community upliftment rather than dwelling on historical grievances. They prioritize education and hard work. They don't live life blaming the white man for all their failures, challenges, or the choices that they make. Many Africans strive to give their children better opportunities and instill values like hard work and responsibilities. They don't raise their kids to hate the white man. And
hold on. Explain that one to me. You said all you're doing is proving why other black people want to separate themselves from us, black Americans. Huh? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. Like this is, you said, and I could, a lot of black Americans, not all, but what are you even talking about? Bro, what? I'm black American. I could go on for days for the ESC of a lot of, let me go back up, of a lot of black Americans, not all, but a hefty percentage. And then you said that they just understand the behavior of the people that they see on media and social media. What? What are we even talking about? What? Yeah, I don't know. I'm black American. I'm sitting up there telling you don't even make sense. So it's like, what are we even talking about here? You know, all you're doing is just proving a point on, you know, why it is that they that everybody else wants to separate themselves. No, I'm proving a point on how it is that black Americans are hated. Black Americans are not automatically going out here feeling that we are the center of attention. Everybody's basically going out of their way to prove that we are the center of attention by always having our name directly in their mouth when it deals with conversations that realistically they shouldn't even be having. If you're on the African continent, you shouldn't be worried about nothing about black Americans. If you're on the African continent and then you happen to see like a traveler that's a black American, all right, then you can sit up there and speak on that black American that's within your realm, within your area, because that's the only experience that you have. Like that's crazy to me. Like that don't even make any type of sense. Like where are we even at right now? Let me see. People are trying to cosplay as black Americans that just got here. Yeah. Delineation is a must. Yep. What else we got? Poor hacker said she's saying that you're making the third world country losers hate us FBA. Ew, that is crazy. That is crazy. What we got? We got trolls directly in here. No problem. Got you. They classify as Caucasian/white when they come here, not as African American or black. They infiltrate. And the funny thing is, Empress, I know exactly what you're talking about because there was a Egyptian professor. It's an old video. I think it might be from like the early 2000s or the 90s, and he was basically stating how he had to categorize himself when he came directly over to the United States. And this also goes into other aspects of other people when it is that they are not American and they come directly over here. You have a lot of people that will choose to say that they're white, which is some crazy work. Wait, so who you saying is who's not black American? Who's not black American? Or I said I know the video you're talking about. Yeah. Let me know something. Let me know. Like I told people before, if you specifically got a problem with me, if you want to say something, hit that add button. Be a grown adult, because more than likely you're saying this and you're older than me. Be a grown adult. Hit the app button directly on a little keyboard that you got on on your phone, Apple, Android, whatever it is, and put SEIJIHITO directly in there so that I know specifically that you're talking directly to me. Because it's crazy. You said the dude that was just talking or that posted? I'm confused. Wait, are you talking about the comment that I showed and read directly off? Or are you referring to the video from previous? Because like I said, like I told people before, I'm trying to be a better person. I ain't trying to go off on the deep end and just start, going off attacking. like I said, I'm a better person than what I was 2+ years ago. I'm a way better person. Way better person. It might flare up every now and again, sometimes meet me on the right day, but I'm a better person. Empress said, then they want to press our buttons and tell us that they are African American or black. Yeah, which is crazy. Okay. So you're talking about the comment that I read off to you. Okay, I got you. See, this is why I like to have conversations and ask questions first. Well, as I like to say, ax, which is AX, because I like to cut stuff down. But like I said before, we're having a conversation, having a dialogue. It's all good. So I got you. I see where it is that you're coming from. Yeah, I don't know who that person is. I don't claim that person. They trying to pull up here and say that they're Black American. Da da da. Nah. I don't got time for that. I don't believe that at all. D Money said, "Friendly Fire" said, "Yeah, be like that." Like I said, I play Call of Duty, so it's like that. Charlie said, "We need to get that paperwork right, separate from legal forms. Let's get that going so you won't have access to anything we have that is supposed to be solely for us." Yeah, this is why you have a lot of people out here in the Black community that talk about, flat black is not the way, is not the move, which is true. Because if there is a conversation that happens, if there is a moment in time that reparations is to be given specifically out, that should go specifically to Black Americans. And the moment in time that reparations even becomes a topic or a subject, you got all of these people. I've seen Indians talking about Black Americans don't deserve reparations. I've seen Africans talking about Black Americans don't deserve reparations. I've seen people from the islands talk about Black Americans don't deserve reparations. People from South America is talking about Black Americans. Everybody, like, I kid you not, there are videos from people all around the world talking about that Black Americans do not deserve this. I've never seen the world come together and agree on one topic about a specific group of people that have a very specific history in the United States to just say, hold the boat, you don't deserve this. But yet, I've seen the Chinese get a form of reparations, right? The Asians be getting laws and all these other types of things passed. The United States helped out the Jewish population, Jewish community, right? You got other individuals like the Native Americans sitting up there getting land, getting money. You got a multitude of other groups that the whole world does not even care about. They don't care how the United States is sitting up there helping them out, giving them a form of reparations or whatever it is. But when it deals with Black Americans, seemingly enough, this is the point in time that everybody is a part of a think tank. Everybody's a part of the big brain club, right? Everybody's a scholar directly out here on the subject, on the topic, on the history. That's some diabolical work. 100%. But like I said before, the moment in time that it starts getting close to Black Americans actually moving somewhere to something, and we already got past all of the naysayers, this is when a lot of people are like, oh, well, my parents were here since the 1960s, and they incurred and went through some things. So what about them? So I think we really need to figure out. No, we don't need to figure out anything. If your parents are descendants of slaves who went through slavery in the United States specifically and only, that's what we're talking about. We ain't talking about nobody else. I don't care if you got here in the 1960s. That's a personal problem. Maybe you should have told your people to sit up there and ship your people here with everybody else, right? Right? Huh? But oh no, all the people that got the culture, all of the people that got this and got that, now hold on. I can't get my words right because I'm just so like frazzled right now. So let me get this straight. So your people got land, you got culture, heritage. You can go back and look at books. You can go back and talk to a lot of your elders. You can go back to a lot of your villages where your grandparents were raised, right? You can go back and look at trees that were there for 300 generations, or I'm sorry, whatever it is, for 300 years. You know what I'm talking about. So then you flee that, you leave that to come directly over here to the United States. And then you're here for so long, and then you're like, okay, I want to have my cake and eat it too. I want to have all of my resources and everything and my knowledge that I have from my people over there. But then I also want to take part in the reparations because I feel as though that I've been here long enough and I've went through certain things, which would then make it acceptable for me to be able to get no. That's not how that works. If Africans were to get reparations from Europe or whoever, I'm going to say kudos to the Africans. You set up there. That's a big one right there. You got that. No problem. I'm not trying to take any parts. I don't want a slice or even a piece or even a sliver. I don't want nothing to do with that because that's not me. I had nothing to do with that. So in the exact same vein, if Black Americans are supposed to get what it is that they deserve, I expect everybody respectively to shut up, mind their own business, and attend to their homes, tend to their houses, tend to their front and backyards. That's what you do. Just like I would mind my business on your monies, you mind your business on ours. But seem like that sounds too much like right, and people don't want to do that. So let's keep going.
Blame them for all of their problems. That's why they can't grow. Africans are hard workers and they work on self-improvement. They hold themselves accountable for their actions instead of making everything about race and blaming the system. True Africans do not celebrate when a white kid loses his life to a black kid. The decent Black Americans out there, we claim you, we see you, and we love you. Thank you for being a decent human being.
Hi.
Right? So we heard that, right? So she said that Africans don't sit up there and blame nobody for nothing. They just take full-fledged accountability. But if you're taking full-fledged accountability, why do you have so many runners and track stars? Why are you, if you're taking full, reasonable and logical accountability and acceptance and responsibility for your actions and actions of your people, of your generations, of the leadership that is directly there, crooked system or not, why are you then fleeing to all of these white nations? It seems like somebody is not built to take responsibility. It seems like somebody does not know how to take responsibility. That's what it seems like. That's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird to me. Trying to find this video real quick. Because there was a video that I showcased to you guys before where the Kenyan government had threw out who or whatever it was because they found out that their women were being sterilized. Matter of fact, I got you. Let me just highlight this, right? Because I know we got to sit up there and deal with certain things here, right? So we're going to look at this here. Let me just copy what is here. So let's just take a look at this little piece of paper here. HIV and forced sterilizations, how 4 Kenyan women found justice. So you mean to tell me that instead of taking responsibility for one's actions and just owning up to it and just dealing with the cards that were dealt, the women here decided that, oh no, this is not our fault. We didn't cause this to happen. None of our actions led to this. We're going to, decide to sue. We're going to go after, these, people or whatnot, whatever that did this to us. It seems like somebody's running away from some responsibility if I wanted to go that far and do that, right? If I wanted to say that. But logically thinking, I know how it is that the governments and the systems directly out here work and how it is that they experiment on many groups of people. Black Americans know this, a lot more than a lot of others. We're still getting experimented on still to this day. So like I said, there's two sides. I could be emotional about the situation. I could decide to sit up there and go directly tit for tat and be drastically disrespectful directly on this topic. Because I've also covered the fact that in 2 areas around the world, one is Jamaica and one is within Africa. how it is that both parties have the highest rate of paternity fraud. But if we go directly back to the woman that was deciding to speak out the side of her neck, I'm not even going to go to her yet, to this woman that decided that she wanted to speak out of the side of her neck about Black Americans, why doesn't she address all of the women there that are falsifying paternity against African men? Why is it that I don't see fields of African women talking about that subject? Because if the court systems in Africa, if the court systems in America were the same, let me reverse that. If the court systems were reflective of the American court systems, a lot of African men would be locked up in jail and prison because of the lies that those African women are telling on those African men. And like I said, there are stats to back up what it is that I'm talking about. Like the paternity fraud over there is crazy. For the women over there not to know who the father is, that says a lot, and that is diabolical. But this African woman is sitting up here telling me in front of my face that they decide to take responsibility and acceptance and acknowledgement of what it is that they do, and they're not going to blame anybody else. Whew, I guess so. I guess so. That is crazy. Ray said, be disrespectful like they are. Well, I tend to save my disrespect for those who actually earn it. There's only one group on this planet that actually earns that type of disrespect. Like I said, Africans are saying a lot of stuff. Like I said, it is what it is. They're not really moving anything out here. They can't really do anything. If we're talking about somebody, let's say like a China, European nation, that's a little bit different, right? They're just sitting up there talking, full of hot air. Can't really do nothing to no Black Americans. It's all good. It's whatever. Now, if I wanted to sit up there and look within America, and I wanted to be vastly disrespectful, only one group directly out here that I would actually spend that time and dedicate that energy directly to, which I have over the years. Only one group. Shout out to the Caucanites directly out here. Shout out to the true Americans directly out here. Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. I think I have a hater. Somebody said on 2 channels at the same time, fraud. How is that a fraud? That doesn't even make any type of sense. You sound completely stupid, and you lack any type of actual knowledge on how social media works. Like, that's crazy to me. I've never seen a hater such as you. I've seen people actually say a variety of things directly here, but for you to actually be mad because I'm on 2 channels, yeah, I have 2 channels. What's the problem? Why don't you get your social media up and you decide to make 2 channels? Like, that's crazy. That is crazy. I don't even know who that person was even talking about right there. But like I said, shout out to the 50 that we got on. Actually, let me just get the grand total. Shout out to the 259 that we currently have at this moment in time. Shout out to any haters that are currently sitting directly in the background just steaming that they can't say anything because these videos don't really have anything to do with you today. So you can just sit back and be entertained. Sit back there and just chill, have some popcorn, get a Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that, Budweiser, and just sit back there and chill. I see a couple of trolls trying to show directly through, but like I said before, when the attention is not on certain people, they want to now have the attention directly on them, and that's not how that is currently working. Matter of fact, directly back to that hater, we've had about what, over 7K directly coming through here. So yeah, shout out, and you're also one of them. So shout out to you for being a hater. Much love. Much love. Let me see. Empress said Tether's love pocket watch and FBA. That's facts. That is 100% facts. 100% facts. Charlie Show Us said hit the like button. That is bars. I'm sorry, Charlie Shaw US. I got you. Much love, respect, and appreciation. What else we got here? Anita said, and what about the Well, where you go? I'm sorry, the chat was moving a little bit too quick. You said, and what about the companies over there charging us more money when they find out that we're from America? I mean, it'd be like that. There was the previous woman. Let me actually rewind this back real quick and show you the woman that was talking. Where did she go? Yeah, this one here. Right. So to Anita, we're going to attach this comment directly to this large four-headed woman, which she has enough real estate to literally wrap your comment around there a good several times. She decided to state that it is what it is. If you're Black American and you come directly over there, she was like, it's an open business at the end of the day. What do you expect? What more do you want directly from us? She said that it's not that we hate Black Americans, it's that we just don't care. So that's what I want, a lot of people who are Black American to at least go over there and understand. If you go over to another country, don't expect these people to love you. Don't expect them to sit up there and care. Don't expect them to have like welcoming arms and be like, "Oh, hey, family." Don't expect that. Don't expect that whole nation and whatnot, whatever, to literally do that. From a lot of videos that I've seen, you're going to go over there and you will have instances of you're getting, priced higher versus somebody that is there, or a Caucasian individual, European individual. You're going to get priced more than everybody else. People are going to look at you like top dollar. That's just how it is. So the moment in time, if you decide to go over there, if you happen to go over there, just go with that thought process that, hey, it's not going to be what it seems to be directly over there, how people want to paint the picture of everything's all nice and no. Just expect certain things to take place because you are Black American. Just do that. Well, Solid Snake, for this live stream, I don't really have an opinion on that at this moment in time. Now, for the people sitting directly in the back, I do have a specific video that is going to deal with a European wanting to say something quite crazy, right? But this European, again, I'm going to highly stress European, she is South African, such as like Elon Musk. So we're going to go directly over that right here.
And we love you. Thank you for being a decent human being.
Hi everyone, Shaniqua here. Those in South Africans, they pissing me off. I'm telling you, I can't turn on TikTok and then they're like on top of me. I can't take it no more. Anyway, so, yeah, we are going ahead with our Mardi Gras and we are going ahead with our Zulu and we don't give a about no one. Okay, I'm just going to tell, they want to be with me. They don't know that I grew up in the hood. Yeah, my baby daddy, he's going to back me up too. Jamal, yeah, don't with us, because we're going back.
So yeah, you were able to hear that European. It says that she is from what city, place, Pretoria. What city of? What is it? Swane. I can clearly see a South African flag directly down there. So again, this is a European woman deciding that she wants to make a mockery of Black American women. Again, it doesn't matter what continent that you happen to go to. Somehow, some way, you will have somebody Caucasian deciding to do things like this. Like I said, some crazy work, diabolical. And people are like, hey, why do you guys always think that everybody cares about you and everybody's always worried and concerned about you? Because this is what y'all tend to do. So this is how we know that you are actually worried and concerned. And, all of these other things. Like I said, that's crazy. That is 100% crazy. Let me go to a comment here that I saw. Where did I go? So I'm just trying to figure out who specifically is this dude even talking about. Well, if it isn't the fake Black Israelites, what are we even talking about? Who even like this is why I sit up there and try to tell people, I'm like, yo, if you're gonna sit up there and like say something, at least at the person who you're gonna be sitting up there talking about. Because I'm like, I'm looking directly through the chat and I'm not really seeing nothing of the reason why this person be leaving this comment. So this is why I happen to post up and I'm like, yo, I need you to let me know who you specifically talking about. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like I said before, it's some crazy work out here in these comment sections sometimes, some days. How it is that people want certain types of attention. Crazy work, but can never actually, at the people that they are talking about. Crazy work, crazy work. Right? So no matter where you go directly on the continent, somebody somewhere is going to have their mouth open. I'm sorry, no matter where you go around the world, somewhere, somehow, somebody's going to have something negative to say about Black Americans. You done got some blacks up there in the UK. You got the ones up there in Africa and elsewhere. You got this clown right here who is South African deciding to jump into the fray. And this was all over the whole thing about the New Orleans thing that was happening. And for whatever reason, it's like somebody else stated, dealing with the whole, New Orleans celebration, Mardi Gras, whatnot, or whatever. Again, that's their culture. That is what it is that they do. For all of these Africans or South Africans to jump directly on the scene, instead of them trying to actually educate or give a history lesson, they just all started bashing. I'm like, oh, that shows the type of time that a lot of y'all are on that we've always talked about. I'm like, that is some real crazy work. That is some crazy work. And who was that? Lafayette? Yeah. Like I said, yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything either. The Black Israelites ain't bothering nobody. they ain't sitting up there minding their own business. Now I will sit up there and tell you this, right? To the person earlier that sat up there and try to bring up the Black Israelites. Let me let you know something. They will, if you sit up there and call them out 3 times, they will be summoned. They will pull up directly to the scene, and they will have no qualms directly about it. They will have Bible and they will have all the information that they need to sit up there and read you real quick with no problem. You won't have no time to really debate because they'll go directly to the book and the scripture. So you can, like I said, sometimes I feel like, people, you might want to, it might want to sit up there and just like step directly back real quick. Might want to just step directly back. Like I said, who was that? Michael had to go back and find your comment again. Yeah, you might want to, because I promise you're not trying to sit up there and actually debate any of the Black Israelites direct. You're not even trying to do that. You're not going to make it. Matter of fact, I put it to another extent. You would not even try to debate any of the adult men that are in the Nation of Islam. You wouldn't even make it. Those are 2 groups right there. You would not be able to have the intelligence to actually debate because they can either go on hand or off hand or both. They will even allow you to take your time to pull out your phone to get yourself correct so that you can try to even do something. That's them just sitting up there being nice. And I done seen it a multitude of times. They can play it both ways, any way, it don't even matter. They can even come directly to wherever you at and have the conversation. So like I said, you sit up there and call them 3 times. They sitting up there showing up like Candyman. So tread lightly. Tread lightly. Don't be stupid. So yeah, we already had somebody that pulled up to the scene. Yo. Like I said, I don't know who specifically that dude Michael was looking for. I don't know what to sit up there and tell you. A lot of times people will make those comments and they'll dip directly out. Like I said, you got a lot of people out here looking for attention, feel like they can actually have a conversation and they can't. They can't. Like it's just not gonna happen. So I'm not even understanding why you wouldn't even go that far. But like I said, when people show up, those same people that was asking, like, yo, if it isn't this, and where you at now? Where's Michael at? You got somebody directly up here that's willing to have a conversation in the chat, and Michael ain't nowhere to be seen. That's some crazy work. That is some crazy work. Like I say, you say it 3 times, they pull it up. Oh man, let me tell you something. So now we're gonna go to a little bit of a different clip here. We got actually 2 different clips, right? One is going to deal with I'll save the other one for last. Both of these are a little bit long, sort of, and one is
I am
going to
pro-black.
talk about religion. So you're going to have this young melanated, I'm going to just go off on a limb and say black man, who states that he is pro-Christian before he is anything else. And then you're going to hear the response of another black young man and give his point or his feelings specifically on that topic. So here we go.
I'm pro-Christ more than I am pro-black, 100%. Every day. It's more to me than my color.
No hate to that creator, but I think this video is just such a great example of, one, the power of organized religion and how it can be used as a tool of brainwashing and manipulation over a group of people. And the second thing is just how deeply ingrained that brainwashing is and how closely intertwined it is with colonialism and slavery and things of that nature. So the guy said, I'm pro-Christ before I'm pro-black because there's more to him than just being black. And obviously I understand that because I'm black too. But what you got to realize is the rest of the world, they don't think that way. When anybody else sees us, the first thing they see is our blackness, is us being bro. We're black, you feel me? And unfortunately, your white Christian counterparts are no different. They'll call you their brother in Christ while you're in church, at worship, at Bible study, whatever the case may be. But as soon as they go to the polls, it's a completely different story. They'll call you their brother or sister in Christ while you're at the altar. But as soon as you wear any Afrocentric hairstyle, as soon as you express your blackness in any type of way that they deem unruly or ghetto or unmodest, it's out the window. You see what I'm saying? They'll call you a brother of Christ, all while their ancestors used that same God's name to conquer our land and enslave our people, exploit our labor, and steal our resources. And then in order to keep us from fighting back, they gave us this God and told us that our heaven was in the sky, while they used our own labor to build theirs on our own land. And unfortunately, that God that they gave us has never done anything for us, bro. Has never done anything for black people. You can say, oh, well, the church was a big part of the civil rights movement. That was black people, bro. God did not do anything with the civil rights movement, bro. Religion can help people endure hardship and push through trauma and struggle and suffering and everything. But that was already in black people, bro. The Christian church did nothing to do that, bro. That was just us. The church has been around since forever, but they never cared about black people. Where was the white church during slavery, bro? Where was the white church during Jim Crow, during segregation? Forget even the white church, bro. Where was the Catholic Church? The most powerful religious body in the world, where were they? They didn't care because they benefited from it, bro. And that's what religion does. That's what colonialism and religion, this concoction, has done, and it has a hold on black people. You have a problem on Black History Month whenever they put posters of black figures in the sanctuary, all while they have an American flag right next to the altar and another one on top of the church building. They'll print "In God We Trust" on the money. Some of them will even put their names on the Bibles and sell it to people, bro. They'll never let you forget who they are, but they always want you to forget who you are. And the reason they'd want this is because when you don't know who you are, you're much easier to control. It's much easier for somebody else to come and say, oh, you're this, oh, you're that. You're right that people do need to be about it instead of just talking about it, and go out into the community and actually build it up and give back and everything. But you don't need the church to do that. You don't need God or Christ or anybody else to do that. You just got to do it, bro. Religion can be a useful tool for enduring struggle and hardship and trauma and all those things, but more often than not, it's simply used as a tool of manipulation and something that helps uphold the status quo, something that keeps change from occurring. You see what I'm saying? There was a time when it was beneficial, but as black people, we need to let it go so we can get what needs to be done.
So we heard that young man, right? And to further add a little bit more to what that young man stated. I'm just going to put this directly up there, right? It says that white people are taught to fight for what they believe in. Black people are taught to pray for what we believe in. Therein lies the problem. And that's facts. That as pretty much goes directly with what that young man was, in a sense, stating, right? That we even saw directly during the election, correct? A lot of black people were able to understand that, yo, hey, we supposedly got allies and all this other type of stuff, but then those allies voted for their own best interests. So that showed you that you really didn't have friends. You really did not have allies. They weren't even realistically fair weather friends or anything like that. They showed you specifically who it is that they were and what inevitably happened. You had a lot of black people that were going online and they were left in a certain type of funk because they were like, yo, I can't believe you actually turned your back directly on me. Well, realistically, when you look at the circumstances, when you look at the climate, you'll realize that, you know, you were in a sense trying to be friends, quote unquote, with your enemy for all intents and purposes. There's no other way I can sit up there and put it. A friend or an actual ally is not going to vote against you for their own best interest, because whatever your best interest is, they're going to align with you and make your best interest their best interest, because you're both going to be able to profit or see something directly from that, right? Your ally or your friend wants the best directly for you, right? They're not going to be plotting directly on you. That's an enemy. That's somebody that doesn't actually value, love, or respect you. And that's what a lot of black people had to come through and actually face due to this election. So, like I said, thankfully for this election, a lot of black people were given that wake-up call. They were able to see that face front instead of just having a variety of faces online trying to repeatedly tell black people, hey, this is that and the third, this is how it is. What, hey, reality set in, it took effect, and people were able to see it. Now you got to live in that reality. It's not just online. It's not just talking heads telling you. It's not just voices with a podcast mic. You are actually able to see. You can see the stats. You can look at the demographics. You can look at the people when they went directly to the rallies. You can see the people wearing the hats. You can see the people doing all of these things. Like I said before, you know, a lot of people have to figure out what it is that they specifically go for or believe in, or, you know, look directly forward to or towards. Like I said, I'm not the person to try to guide or tell people what it is that they should be believing in. Whatever you believe in is whatever you believe in. It is what it is. I let people take their own journey and figure that out for themselves, because realistically for me, I feel that that's how religion should work. People should go to what speaks specifically to them, right? Instead of having somebody, quote unquote, lead them there for all intents and purposes, for, you know, I guess lack of a better word. But like I said, you have a lot of young people. You got some young people that feel a certain type of way. You got others out there that know how society and how the world actually works. Like I said, it's very great that the very first
More than I am.
you know, young man here, he has the whole belief of that, oh, you know, human and human, people are people. That's cool. In a perfect world, that would be a very awesome belief. That would be a beautiful belief, because everything, people would actually be equal, right? People would be seen actually as a human being. But it's crazy to basically say that, yo, I am my religion more than anything else, when realistically the United States historically has told you as a Black American who it is that you are. They've shown you this in words. They've shown you this in actions. They even got pictures or videos, whichever you prefer. But a lot of people would rather stay blinded by their religion, which would lead them to be ignorant of a lot of simple facts that they can easily research with a few keystrokes and see, like, yo, this is American history in the past. And then you can team that up with, this is American history of the future. And now I've literally done videos on it. It's not difficult. So this is where we are. This is where we are. Let me see what we got. Yeah, I got 2 pages. I actually got more than 2 pages, but I mean, I guess I'm not sure what's quote unquote the funniest thing directly about it, But yeah, you got a lot of see. The funniest thing about this whole, let me just side note this um real quick. The funniest thing is I've seen white content creators with like 9 different pages. They'll have, bronze, gold, and silver YouTube plaques and everything like that. And nobody says anything. They're like, yo, that's dope, man. You got all of those pages, you manage that and all this other type of stuff. Congratulations, great for you. Many blessings and all this other type of stuff. So, but then when you have other content creators that just have a few pages and they actually use said pages, magically that's a problem. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird. I'm like, why would that be some type of like a problem or issue or whatnot or whatever? Again, that's I don't know. I don't get it. And because the funniest thing is that even by way of me, no matter what people have stated directly on this platform, I've even told the greatest of quote unquote online enemies that I've had, like, yo, if you basically dislike my channel, my page, whatnot, or whatever, go out there, because I don't copyright strike stuff or anything like that. Go out there and decide to make money off of the content that I put up. And let's see, what it does. And I've only had a few, about, let me see, I think 4 people that I've been able to see so far that have done that over the years. They've made a few videos here and there, giving some responses to the things that I've stated because they disagree with my opinion. Like I said, everybody's free to disagree with the opinion. But like I told you before, it makes no sense to just disagree in a comment section. If you're going to really disagree, get on social media like everybody else and put that disagreement out there and start making money directly off of your voice. See, that's the type of person I actually am. A lot of people, a lot of content creators won't tell you to do that. They'll sit up there and try to get you, deplatformed, all this other type of stuff. I'm telling you, go out there and be, go out there and be great. Hopefully within all of that stuff that you're trying to respond to, you'll find what it is that you actually really want to do. And then you'll actually start making your own content. Like I said, everybody out here moves differently, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But anyways, we're going to go to the last video that we have directly in the arsenal of videos to go directly over. And this
Correct
one
me if I'm wrong, but
is going to be dealing with something a little bit different. It's going to be dealing with something a little bit different. And it's dealing with women right here. You're going to hear this woman who is specifically for women speaking on the issues that she is having and understanding when it deals with women. So let's just take a listen.
y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something going on out here, and I don't know if it's my algorithm per se or what, but it's a lot of studs that's going back to men. I'm seeing a lot of content of women telling stories about how they going back to men because women are just too wicked out here. These women, they're not over their gay phases and they're just like, fun's over. Like, I really do like women. I want to take a woman serious, but you know what? These women are so wicked out here, bro. If I'm gonna be with a being, I might as well just pick the lesser out of 2 evils. And they going back to men. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing enough content that's pertaining to that. And it's just like, ladies, this ain't a wake-up call to y'all to get y'all stuff together. This ain't a wake-up call to tighten up and maybe heal and be better people. Guys is saying the same thing about y'all. Studs is saying the same thing about y'all. And studs are women too, just in case y'all forgot. Other women with sense and other men are saying the same thing about y'all. Y'all don't want to get y'all stuff together? Because I know me being done wrong by women, I know that incentivized me to be a better woman, because I don't want to cause nobody, man or woman, hurt that a woman did me, because that pain is a pain. Women be ruthless with they joint. A man can hurt you, but a woman will hurt you even more, dog. It's just like, y'all are savages. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all do it with such no remorse. Y'all just shrug y'all shoulders about it. All right, whatever. No remorse.
Nothing. It's just like, man, I can't even put it in words. I gotta make a sound effect to describe some of y'all's wickedness, dog. Like, man, y'all know how bad of a person you gotta be, how bad of a relationship partner you gotta be to make somebody consider doing a whole 180 in their sexuality? Man, ladies, y'all tighten up as a whole. You need to tighten up, because y'all gonna look up and ain't nobody gonna want to mess with y'all other just what's in between your legs. And I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. I know y'all don't want that. You look around and don't nobody want to take you serious. And if they do try, if they are trying to mess with you, it's really just to get their rocks off and then go about their business. Is that really what you want to be used for? Y'all don't want to be loved, right? Y'all don't want to.
Hold on. So we got a classic challenger. Yo, what's up, Sham? Um, so let me just go through this, right? Let me just pause this. So Z stated, I will say though that you keep on finding ways to put down some females because of your feelings of women. You're going to stay miserable for the rest of your life until you change you. What in the blue world are you even talking about? Oh, wait, what? Here we go again. This is like the previous like month before. So he said, I don't go around hating on black men all day, even though they're anti-women and anger with life. They like to take it out on every woman. That's a him problem. And then you said, what this is saying to me is never what she already lost her place as a woman. She's manly, but you're going to X off the culture that was authentic because you want people to change. What? And you said that my suggestion is to stop being around those types of people and you wouldn't have those type of issues. Jesus, brother. Sweet mother of Christ. Z, we've gone through this a multitude of times on this channel. I'm not sure where it is that you feel that I have this type of hatred or loathing when it deals with I'm just going to specify here with black women. For whatever reason you didn't specify this time, which is a little bit odd for you because usually you make sure to specify. But I'm just trying to figure out of all of the live streams that I've been sitting up here doing, that I've even had just like newcomers who are black women that pulled directly up to the scene. I haven't gotten the same response or anything like that close to what it is that you like to type in and give. Like it just doesn't make any type of sense at all. Like it just doesn't. And just for the simple fact that I'm showcasing a woman who loves women directly out here, and as a woman she is speaking and basically stating the same things that other men have basically stated, that it's very difficult out here. There's no way to specifically understand how it is that people are moving in a sense to and from. We're pretty much just going to stay directly by ourselves and just do whatever. You're like, nah. A lot of you guys out here, you're anti women and all this other type of stuff and yada yada yada. Like I said, this is it's crazy. But let's continue.
To be loved. Y'all don't want to be treated right. Y'all don't want none of that. Y'all just want to be reckless, do whatever y'all want, and then y'all expect for other people to just take it, tolerate it. And then if they leave you alone, you flip it on them. They did something wrong. I done heard so many women be like, only the strong can survive with me. Why somebody gotta be strong to deal with you? Why can't you just be strong enough to control yourself? Y'all don't be hearing y'allself when y'all be talking, man. But that's really a thing, ladies. Tighten up. Because these tomboys and men is really getting tired of y'all.
Y'all need to tighten up, because honestly, quite frankly, if women as a whole tighten up, not only will the relationship and the dating pools will get better, society will get better too. But you know, we gonna all keep being in hell. Just as long as women keep being in hell, society gonna be in hell. Everything gonna be in hell. So.
So there we go. Shout out to FBA Judah. Says y'all been following you for some years, and you always remain solid. Keep up the great work. Much love, respect, and appreciation. The main reason I wanted to bring up that video was to just showcase the fact that you have women out here who solely enjoy being around other women, and they're having complications and issues. Again, the same issues that you have ordinary guys out here specifically talking about. People wanted to make it seem like guys are crazy. We don't know what it is that we're talking about. We just don't understand women and all this other type of stuff. But you got women here saying the exact same thing. This is not the first video that I've showcased and, placed directly on this platform dealing with this issue. Again, I bring up these issues to talk about a larger issue. So just like she said before, if you got women who love women complaining, if you got men out here sitting up here complaining, there has to be a common denominator on where the problem basically entails, on where the problem actually lies. And that was a woman basically saying that, yo, for the woman out here, you just got to sit up there and tighten up. It's that simple. It's that simple. But for whatever reason, I will every now and again happen to get some comments basically stating that Seji hates black women, or being a anti-woman, woman hater. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right, no problem. And we done had like some sideline conversations directly. That's a conversation. I don't know how I said it, but we had some sideline conversations. Pronunciation is key. Sideline conversations, and talking about black women and Jade Cargill and many other women directly out there and showcasing the pictures and stuff like that. For whatever reason, she's never there for those conversations. Magically, the YouTube is off. Like, her internet is off whenever those conversations and those pictures specifically show up, when those women are getting highlighted, when people in the chat are literally like, oh, this woman is beautiful, she's looking like this, she's looking like that. It's like, and everything is all positive pretty much. Magically, she's never there for that. But she's here when it deals time, talking about, some specifics. Like I said, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. Yo, Breezy Omega, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? Empress said, I just saw a video today on a new flesh-eating STD. I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me look that up. I got you. Hold on. See, flesh-eating STD. Ooh, hopefully I don't mispronounce the name. So it is called, the flesh-eating STD refers to the vaniosis, a sexually transmitted infection characterized by ulcers on the genitalia, sometimes extending to the mouth. While the lesions can destroy skin and tissue, the bacterium responsible, which is Klebsiella. What, I'm just gonna leave it at the Kelselia because I'm doing good at this moment. Does not literally eat flesh, but the flesh-eating nickname is due to the appearance of the ulcers, which can describe a beefy red or they can also bleed easily. Huh. Well. So you got testing and treatment. So they got the rare flesh-eating STD reported in England as of April 10th of 2024. Then we have some stories directly back on October 25th of 2021. What else we got? So yeah, it came back up. So we got some stuff from the latest that I'm at least able to see on page 1 is from 2018 and is as recent as 2025 as well. So yeah, that bad boy has been here for a little bit here. It has been here. Let me tell you. That's crazy. That's some diabolical work. People, like I said, the main thing I have to keep trying to tell people, like, yo, people got to be careful out here. Like, yo, I need, even though BT, at one point in time, it was black owned and then it got sold off, so it wasn't black owned anymore. The one thing I loved about BT is that we would have like the simple commercials. It would be wrap it up, know your status. Like, it was so dominant at that time that people were literally talking about this in school. We need to go back to that because there's nobody out here on social media that is getting directly to these kids or to people in general, to grown adults, telling them like, yo, know your status, go out here and get checked, this, that, and the third. Like, are you wrapping up? And like, yo, that's something that needs to be talked about. Let me just put it, yeah, like that's something that needs to be highlighted. That's something that needs to be talked about because there's way too many people out here running around here just free and just doing whatever it is that they want to do. Let me see. Let me go to chat real quick. You gotta look something up. Let me see. Highest. See what information that we can pull. Woo! Like, case in point, because the brother Adonis that I told y'all about, going back to the whole African conversation, right? So we're just gonna highlight this. Trying to get a screen count. Let me just read this real quick. Substantial progress, combat epidemic, remarkable, 97% of don't even care. Don't even matter. We're just gonna highlight the main thing here because the young brother Adonis was actually having a conversation with somebody who stated that they have HIV and that they actually recently had somebody over to their home. This is somebody who is in Africa, right? So you might have to, for anybody that's on a like to say like this, on a mobile phone, right, on a cellular device, you'll more than likely have to turn your cell phone sideways so that this will fill up your whole screen so that you can properly read it. So it says, as of recent data, Eswatini, formerly Switzerland, has the highest adult HIV prevalence rate globally, right? Approximately 28.3% of adults aged 15 to 49 in Eswatini are living with HIV, according to a 2024 estimates. Other countries with notably high adult HIV prevalence rates include what is that? Lesotho with 26.2, Botswana with 22.8, Zimbabwe with 22.1, and South Africa with 16.6%. So yeah, again, there's a lot of problems and issues dealing with Africa and how people need to control certain things going on there and get those things under wrap, because those percentages and numbers, and this is out of the world, because I literally typed in who has the world's highest HIV rates. So yeah, this didn't have nothing to do with America. This didn't have nothing to do with Black Americans. It's had everything to do with over there. So again, for a lot of those Africans out there that want to talk real sweet when it deals with Black Americans, like, yo, y'all might want to get y'all priorities straight real quick. Might want to get your priorities straight real quick. It's craziness. Craziness. Yo, radio, what is up? What is going on? Yo, third eye, what is happening? What is happening? What is going on? Yo, well, I did see that you responded to the comments that I left on the video. Yeah, yo, the build that you got direct, because I think I was trying to say something to you on the last live stream, but the build that you had for the trickster on your channel, that was dope. That was a cold build. What I was trying to tell you, I'm not sure if you got the DLC for that game, but go through the DLC. Go through the DLC, and if you do have the DLC and haven't gone through it yet, I can, easily go through that with you. Wait, before I say that, do I still have the game downloaded? Hold on, let me swap. Hold on, let's see. Let me see. Rabbit said all the countries that you listed are countries that white people are injecting Africans with HIV under the guise of vaccinations. I mean, hey, it be like that. It be like that. But like I said, there's nothing I can do about that. They got to be the ones to sit up there and fix it. If you literally had Kenya kick out people because they were sterilizing the women, then you already know what's happening. You already know what's up. But you got a lot of the Africans there. They want to ignore what's happening. They don't want to pay attention. Like I said, a lot of people got social media. I ain't saying that everybody on the whole African continent got cell phones and I'm not saying that, because I understand that some people like to live simpler lives, just simple tribe day to day, just doing the things that they normally that they've been doing right for hundreds of thousands of years. Cool, no problem. But for the other ones directly out there, they can relay information to people and educate them, and people opt not to do that. Okay. So you said that was a DLC built from Apocalypse Tier 40? Ascension 194. Okay, I got you. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if you went through what's the names? Because fighting some of the bosses in there, like dealing with some of those enemies, it was annoying. Well, for me, being a pyro, if I don't decide to just build full tank, which would then require me it will take a lot of time to actually burn through the enemies, but I could take the hits. It's annoying. I tend to like more so like the glass cannon, where I could just all right, I just got to make sure that I don't get hit more than 4 times. I'm good. Stuff like that. But yeah, that build was dope. That build was cold. And then the other one that you had for I want to say more one, but that's not the game. I forgot the name of the game. But you were basically, the way that you had your character set up, you had him playing like an Arkham game crossed with God of War during a press button cutscene. I'm like, nah, this dude is just doing like a press button cutscene. I'm like, it ain't no way. And I'm like, nah, this is actually his build rate. I'm like, yo, that is crazy. That is crazy. And it was dope. Looking through the videos, you had people, going through and engaging, with the content and whatnot. Like I said, man, yo, you gotta keep going, man. Gotta keep going. I'm telling you, it will pay off. As somebody who has just been out here struggling doing the content creation thing, it's a struggle. It's hard work and whatnot, but stay consistent. Put a few videos up there, even if it's like every one a day or something like that, so you at least got like 7 videos up there during any given week or whatnot. Do something like that. I thought I said I had the trickster tank from day one. Okay, I got you. Yeah, Middle Earth. That's what I meant. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's crazy work out here. It is crazy work out here. Somebody said, can we get back on point? I mean, well, as I've normally stated, this is pretty much where it gets to that point where things are like winding down. Because I pretty much I said everything that I need to say. I talked about every single video. I talked directly about the topics, and then I decided to go back and revisit slightly the thing dealing with Africa and how it is that the Africans want to specifically speak on Black Americans, and how there's more pressing serious issues, especially of the health variety, that need to be talked about. So yeah, it'd be like that. And man was like, peace out. It'd be like that, you know. I guess it's not entertaining when you start, just relaxing and talking about video games. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. Like I said, uh, can't make everybody happy. It'd be like that. Third Eye said, Tim is mad because his channel is boring. It'd be like that. I'm not even sure if that dude even have a channel or not, but it'd be like that. Sometimes when things start to, relax, people ain't trying to hear anything else. I at least try to sit up there and I don't know, my voice crack like that, but I normally try to, bring down the blood pressure of people, try to bring down the tone, just a, just a tad bit, because I ain't trying to have y'all, go out there in the streets and just, be mad and all this other type of stuff. But like I said, the whole main thing is to be aware of a lot of the things that people are stating, how it is that the perceptions that people have directly of Black Americans and the things that people are, specifically saying. Like I said before, I was never raised, to speak, in that type of way at all. Sham said, Tim, this ain't your channel. We on point. And what she say? She was like, for the next 2 hours, the channel holds SEIJIHITO. That's crazy. That's crazy. What was it? Third, I said I was kidding. Third, I said I might seriously take your advice with some more of it. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, that's what that's what you got to do. Like I said, trust me. Wait. What was it? Third Eye. How many subscribers that you got on your channel? Because I forgot. Because I sat up there, I went through and watched, the clips that you had directly up there. Let me tell you, anytime on Outrider, as soon as I get to that main level Outrider, detected Outrider, I start dancing every single time. Like, me and my friends automatically start dancing. It was to the point where we played that so much, we were saying that during, like other games. Like, it was crazy. You say you got 18 by accident. Let me tell you something. I have just specifically a gaming channel. I only got like 12 people. So like I said, you already got me beat. That's I just want you to realize that's how cold that is, right? I'm a content creator that has channels, like, at least like, 2 or whatnot active channels with subscribers, right? And then the gaming channel that I have, that bad boy only got 12. You already outbeat that. And you don't have like as much time and everything, like that out there. So that tells you what it is that you can already do. I mean, that's how I look at it. I try to find a silver lining directly in, and everything. You said you got 52 on Twitch. I think you actually got me beat on Twitch as well too. Let me actually check. Hold on. Let me see. I'm not sure if I can actually. I haven't been on Twitch in a minute. Please don't tell me I gotta put my password in because I logged in before. Hopefully, it just left me logged in. I did. Okay. So let's see what we got on Twitch. Okay, so you say you had about what? You got 52. See, we right there, neck and neck. I got 56. You got 52. Technically, I think at one point in time I might have had 60, but I don't know what happened there. I'm not sure if those might have been like bots or whatnot or whatever. And that 50 something been there for like years. I can't even tell you when I started really trying to post. Was that like during like the pandemic or something? Maybe it was like during the pandemic. I forgot where it was, but it was a long time ago. Too bad that they don't really keep like the videos up here for a long time, so I can't really give you anything history wise. I think, well, maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe I might be able to go to the background of Twitch and try to look at maybe the summary of the channel for analytics. Maybe I can do that. Might be able to do overview, average viewers. How far back would 7 days. It only goes as far back as 2025. Yeah, I can't even give you nothing. But yeah, like I said before, all you got to do is be consistent. That's all you have to do. Tim said, "I am not a gamer, but I understand." Yeah, I got you. I got you. No problem. And that's why I told people before that some people will like the content here, and then some people won't because there'll be some other content that's not political. It'll be more so gaming wise, where people can just chill and just look at that. You know. Like I said, I like to relax sometimes. I'm not trying to be up in arms, just sitting up there. I'm about to be debating with people 24/7, and blood pressure, is up and all this. No. we're not. We're not about to be. My blood pressure gonna be up. Then I'm about to be chilling on a video game, eating food, and yelling at bosses. Sham know exactly what it is that I'm talking about because we were having some technical difficulties when it dealt with Risk of Rain, and we finally got like 2 good runs directly in earlier this morning after what felt like the ridiculous amount of failures that we were going through for what felt like a week or two, which is crazy. But we still got a lot of characters to actually unlock at this moment. Sham said, "I'm still sleepy. We played Risk of Rain so much I dreamt I was, was a robot." Yo, I'm telling you, we be having long runs. Like I kid you not, the runs that me and Sham end up having, because we are exploring the whole like at least level, like the map that we are given, and trying to level up our character on top of like buying stuff there. We're there for about a good 100. I think what did it normally say, like 150 something like minutes or whatnot or whatever. Basically, like a nice duration. And then we'll make it directly to the boss, and then that pimp hand is strong on some of those bosses, and we're out of there. Or we will be powered up to the point where we're just sailing through the content, and then when we want to go to the boss that's been defeating us so much, the portal is like, nah, we're not going to give you that boss. We're going to give you the same one that y'all been fighting. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. Third, I said the last time I streamed on Twitch was back in 2022. Okay, yeah. I got you. Yeah, and that's the man. That is the guy right there, Corey Kenshin. That is the guy. Like the craziest thing to see people who are non-black hating Corey or basically having problems because they feel that he should be coming out with content when they want him to come out with content, or they feel that they don't like the fact that the only time he wanted to show back up to the platform instead of delivering content, he wanted to put out something that he worked and created, like something that he wanted to, he really loved to do, and he finally got the money and everything to do, he wanted to do, and people are mad at him for it. I'm like, that's some crazy work. I'm like, that's 1,000% some crazy work. I'm like, so you weren't just his fan anyway then. I'm like, this dude was sitting up there making videos, eating ramen, like just a college student. And sitting up there eating like ramen and just doing everything. Like, man, buddy. Some crazy work though. Crazy work. Thought I said I'm very fickle. I got bored streaming. I mean, I get that. Mahoko said, "Hey Seiji, I got my first pickup truck ever." Hey, congratulations. Congratulations. That's actually pretty dope. That is pretty dope. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. Sham said Corey has family and mental health and multi-talented. His fans be tripping sometimes. They should learn to support him more. Yeah, that's facts. Like the amount of hate that I was seeing him getting directly on just even like the manga that he made, and you got a whole bunch of white boys that were like, "Oh, that's not actually a manga because it's not made by said people and it's not Japanese." And I'm like, dog, shut up. I'm like, you're trying to gatekeep something that's not even yours. Like you're not even of that culture. I'm like, that's the most wildest thing ever. It's like seeing Asians try to gatekeep King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, or try to tell black people, oh, only Europeans could actually be knights in this, that, and the third. Why are you guys dressing up as knights? Like that's impossible. Like like I said, it's some crazy work. Some crazy work. let me see if I can get the picture of it. Because Hack said what manga. Let me, because I showcased it before. Um, let me see. Manga. Do. Oh, that is actually dope. He got like a full like landing page for this. Hey, let's go. Man, got a full landing. So for Hack, let me just put that image directly up there for you. I got you. So for those who don't know, this is Corey's manga directly up here. So I gotta actually take that down. Sorry. It's called the Monsters We Make. So that is Corey's manga. That is the child that he created. Like I said, that's dope. That is the coldest thing I've ever seen directly in my life. When you got somebody who's black and successful, they get to a point where they can actually make their dreams come true. They can put them directly into reality and have other people also take interest in said dreams. That's dope. That is dope. Yeah, Third Eye. Yeah. Manga is Japanese for comic. Yeah. And you had literally people explaining that underneath, on X under these threads, and a lot of people wasn't trying to hear it. Like, it was crazy. Rabbit said, as Seiji, Corey Kenshin is the reason why a black person having white fans and followers means nothing. I mean, yeah, it'd be like that. Because you would think that a lot of them would be the utmost supportive, and then when it comes to something that they specifically feel is theirs, this is when you start to see that disrespect. Crazy work. Sham said the manga is called Monsters We Make. It's really good, like Solo Leveling. Good. Yo, Lone Wolf, what is up? What is up? What is up? You said there's the same people who complained about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Oh, yes. 1000%. And Assassin's Creed Shadows is actually pretty dope. Hack said, cool. Sham said his manga artist is good. Yo, Carl, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? But yeah, this is Corey Kenshin's, manga directly up there, just in case anybody is interested. It's a whole, they got like a whole landing page and whatnot directly for it. So, go check that directly out. Like I said, that's cold. I'm not even, I wonder, well, let me go back to this website. Let me see if they got like some shirts directly up there. I know they got the YouTube, they got the X account. Let's see what we got directly on X. Oh, the characters look cold. Seeing it in color, that is cold. That is cold. They should really they should start posting some stuff directly on the X account. So let me go back and see what else we got. Let me see. Let me go back. Actually, when I went back, I actually closed out. Well, can't go back now. No problem. So I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to the comment section real quick. Sham said shirts on his page. I think. Okay. Wait, Third Eye said there's a white guy on YouTube and Facebook who got several mangas and he gets 0 hater push. Yeah, that's because that community feels like it belongs to them. Like they feel like anything that's Asian belongs to them. And they're the only ones that basically has dibs or rights to it and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, it's crazy work. It's crazy work. But you can only blame, said culture and people that allowed other people to basically feel and think that. This is why those same guys got mad when they happened to, if you got black dudes in Japan and you got the Japanese women talking to the black guys, they'll sit up there and get mad. They'll be steaming hot. And I'm like, dog, you got all of these other Japanese women. You mad that this one Japanese woman is talking to this black dude? I'm like, dog, get a life. I'm like, you got Japanese women all over the place. You're fluent in Japanese. Why are you even mad? I'm like, that's some crazy work. Crazy work. Lone Wolf said, is the book out yet? Yeah. The book is out. People, you're able to buy it directly on the website and everything. So yeah, you can go directly. You can just type in the monsters we make, and you should get the website. As soon as you go directly to the website, you'll see sort of like a mini video background that'll play, and then you'll scroll down, and that's where you can order the book. Hack said PC freaks out because in the anime Lazarus we have one black guy. Pink said I bought it for my son. That is dope. That is dope. Rabbit said the Japanese women aren't even attractive. They all look the same. I mean, no, you got different, looks. I mean, if you're not really paying attention, then that's different. But no, you got some different ones directly out there. Like I said, I did not know. Like I'm used to American, right? So case in point, like if I'm used to like seeing like black women of all different shapes, sizes, heights, all of that, right? When a lot of people happen to think about Asian women, you're thinking about like, probably short, maybe a little bit close to average height, and they have a very, thin weight directly associated with them. I didn't sit up there when I thought about women in Japan. I never thought about women that actually had weight. But then they got videos out there that showcase those women that actually got weight. And I'm like, that's crazy. They just keep y'all hitting. I'm like, they show just the standard issue picture, but I'm like, no, these types of sizes actually do exist. They just don't like to show them off. And like I said, I understand because in Asian countries they got like the certain thing dealing with weight and everything like that. So I get it. I understand because that's their culture. For black culture, that's not how we roll. We are all for women of different weights and sizes. So yeah. Third I said it's a manhwa, a one-off, or a continuing series. I think it's going to be a continuing series. So I think that this is just the first book. So I guess like once the ball starts rolling and he's able to get directly into like the same creative pocket that he gets into like YouTube, he'll start getting directly into that when it deals with this creation here. Oh yeah, it's going to be more than likely you'll start seeing stuff just like flying out there. But I'm guessing that he's taking his time, directly with this, and wants everything to make sense instead of just throwing it directly out there and just having people buy it just because it's him. Radio said, yeah, there are thick ones too. They be having them thunder thighs like Chun-Li. Yeah, yep. D Money said they got some thick ones out there. Carl said they're laughing at radio. Rabbit said the same comment. I dropped the picture in Discord of regardless to show it on live stream. That's crazy. See, I don't really hopefully nothing crashes. Because trying to do open up some stuff. I mean, technically the graphics card it should be all right. But I know I got to do an upgrade, I'm sorry, to this computer though. You say you put it directly in Discord. I mean, I normally don't even, do stuff like that. Nah, if we got like straight somebody talking, like reckless being a hater, directly on the X streets, it's a little bit different. A little bit different. Oh, they got nameplates up here. Wait, so if you buy these nameplates on Discord, do you get to keep them though? Yo, why is that a 10? Oh, they got a that's a bundle pack. Yeah, I'm not even on Discord like that, but Discord, they've been cooking with some of the stuff that they monetizing in the background. They got it's looking like Steam. And it's like realistically, it's like looking at the stuff that Discord is doing, I need Steam to actually step this up. Because they got like color options and they got the little buffering pick. That's dope. Oh, that samurai background is actually kind of I like that. That's actually pretty. My bad, I'm getting caught up. Wait, what is this? What in the world? Yeah, I'm a little bit confused on here. That said, I'll be sure to do some games in during your spare time. All right. Let me. Okay, so wait. You say you sent it in the Discord? Let me go here. I mean, yeah, we do got a Discord. You know, it just be like that. Yo, this man Ty is. I don't know if Ty actually put that in there or if it was somebody else that did. That's crazy. Let me see. Tippy said Raging Gamer Girls. Raging last night of I don't know what stream. You said it's not me that I feel is blurred should follow each other. So okay, yeah. So I'll check that out. I'm not even sure if Tippy is in here either. Announcements. So we got the live streams up there. We got the welcomes. Shout out. We got D Money in there. What is up? What is up? Let me just put some fire emojis up here so y'all know I'll be seeing some of y'all. Crazy Apple. Who was that? DJ Sagwan. I mean, we got some people in Discord, even though Discord don't be moving. Triple H is mad on this one. Okay, it's Tam right there. Wait, what is that? Pregnant woman given a heavy sentence for DUI crash. Oh, yeah, she ain't gonna make it out. Oh yeah, that was that. Oh, that's the cat video with the GoPro. Yeah. You said white people pretend to be black people in chat. Yo, that is crazy. Yo, let me see. My bad. I'm just rolling through some of this stuff here. Wait a minute. Let's see. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I see it though. That's crazy. That is crazy. What else was I going to sit up there and mention? Oh, also anybody that's on Xbox right now, let me sit up there and state, check out Expedition. Wait, hold on. I got somebody knocking at the door. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm back. I am back. Sham said, I know when you guys talk about women, I usually just have to, what was it, mind my own convo with the other girls. And you said, but it's just me today. Wait, didn't we have Gail? I thought Gail was here. I can't even see the what's the name on here? Hey, night. What's the name on here? Let me see if I try to scroll all the way up. And this is about like 2 hours worth of comments. And we are still scrolling. And I'm trying to do this as quick as yeah, Gail was actually in here. If I remember correctly, yeah. So I don't even need to technically roll up. Man, look at all those comments. That is crazy. Look at that. Yeah, so technically it shouldn't be just you, Sham, but yeah. Yeah. Sham said, "LOL, am I the only girl in chat today? I thought I heard Pink was in here." Yeah, well, yeah, I guess they might be busy. I guess they might be busy. So yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. But yeah. That's pretty much it though. We had a good solid 2 hours. Yeah, a good solid 2 hours. So shout out to any and all people currently here at this moment in time. Ooh, we had about on one end about a good 11K that pulled up to the scene. Hey, so shout out to all those people. I wish we could actually get half of those to like hit that like button before they leave. I wish that was actually a thing, but it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Let me see. And then on the other side, let's see what we got here. And again, to anybody brand new, much love, respect, appreciation, shout out. Thank you for spending time here, pulling up to the scene, even leaving a comment, being a part of the conversation. What we got? So yeah, we got about a good like 12 over that pulled up directly to the scene. So yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty good today. Pretty solid stream for all intents and purposes. Radio sitting up there crying. But yeah. So you guys are free. It's what is it, a Monday at this moment? Check out Sham said what we playing today. Either I'm not sure if Towerborne is up right now. I would probably have to let me see. Let me just turn on Steam real quick. Because I meant to reply back to you on Steam because I saw like a message up there, and then I was like, live stream. Let me focus. Also, Sham, another dope game is that one is actually pretty cheap. I have it on console though. It's called Aliens Fire Team Elite. That's actually pretty fun too. That's actually pretty fun. And that's a multiplayer. I think it's up to like 4 players as well too. Let me see. Library wise, what updates do we have? Fragpunk is the only thing that has an update. Oh, they got Twitch drops for Towerborne. Oh, really now? Let me see. First read, head over to our link guide here and sync your Towerborne on Twitch account. Yeah, I need to do that. Let me get that going. Hold on. Let me about to so Sham, you might want to do that. Might want to link that. So let me just get that because I'm trying to get those Twitch drops because I'll be serious about those. But yeah, if anybody don't know what Towerborne is, if you are a gamer, Towerborne is a pretty nifty little game that's cross-play on PC and on Xbox. It is pretty dope. I would tell people to check it out. You get about like 4 classes. You got a pretty, large map directly out there where you can go through with friends, fight enemies and bosses, collect gear, specifically make your character play the way in a sense that you want to play. It's not as limited as it was originally. Again, even with the original initial version of Towerborne, it wasn't like it was just horribly, limited. I would love to get this landing page and put this on the front. Wait, I think I can if I go to StreamYard and then I put, but it would have to be screen share, right? Okay, so yeah, I can screen share a tab. All right. So it shows up like that. That sucks. This is the moment I would technically want it to be like a full screen. But yeah, this is what the Towerborne page is going to look directly like if you were to go there. I wish I can actually swap this to like a larger, what's the name, but it won't let me do it because I'm already in a live. But yeah, Towerborne is actually a pretty dope game for any gamers directly out there, especially if you are a gamer and you got kids and your kids are like, yo, mom, dad, whatever, want to be able to play a game with you, all this other. Yeah, Towerborne, that would be something that everybody, the whole family could sit up there and play. You don't gotta, really try to monitor and worry about like, oh, we got a whole bunch of violence and gore and cursing. No. It's pretty much as simple, basic fun. Everybody could play. You can even have if your child, if it's like two of them twins or whatever, they can sit up there and play that, together. And then the moment of time you get off work, you get some time, bow, you slap the third controller, whatever it is, in, and or you can just play from your PC and play as a family and whatnot. So, you know, pretty wholesome, type of game, things of that nature. Sham said Ty was on earlier. I think he's getting stuff fixed. Okay. Sham said I will look it up. I might research streaming if my voice doesn't annoy people too much. I still think I sound like a kid. Man, your voice is fine. To anybody that's a content creator, I sit up there or wants to be a content creator, for the longest time possible, I don't think I actually like the sound of, my own voice, but then I just got used to it. And like, it's whatever. I think it gets to a point where we're not used to our own voice that we find, certain types of like imperfections or dislikes specifically about it. So, it's just something that we gotta, get over. After we get used to, either it's going to sound crazy when I say it, talking to ourselves, stuff like that, because that's what I do. Anytime I record, videos directly to you guys, or if I happen to start a live stream and it doesn't send out the notifications, I'm literally here talking to myself. Right. So, you got to get used to, hearing your own voice and, different things like that. But yeah, and then also for anybody who's brand new at streaming or want to test out streaming, this would pretty much be a pretty decent game to decide to stream. So pretty easy, simple game. You won't even have to play this on max graphics. Either, I mean, of course, if you play it on moderate graphics or whatnot or whatever, it's going to look great. I'm playing this directly off my console, so I don't have to worry about my, computer having to, really work. It'll just handle, the streaming aspect or whatnot or whatever. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I'm not even trying to hold y'all here any longer. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna, probably, get some food together and start doing some gaming. But again, any videos that I went directly over or how it is that I had them up here, I will have those in a single formatted video directly up here for you guys to take directly in and peruse how it is that you want to peruse. And hopefully you will interact and leave some comments and different things like that. So as I always say, much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out to anybody who has donated by Cash App. Shout out to the Patreons directly out there. Shout out to the members of the channel. Shout out to anybody who has thrown some chat donations directly out there at any past point or present. Much love, respect, and appreciation to all of my moderators for you guys always being here with me, throughout the years and everything like that. Shout out to just the normal followers of the channel for subscribing and being here and being here for years, as some of y'all have let me know. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here with me and give me just a little bit of your time, every day or whenever it is that you have time. I'm much appreciative and very thankful for that, as always. And I will catch you guys in the next video and or live stream. Peace out.